Introduction to Nanotechnology. For centuries, humans have been amazed by the sky. Galaxies, stars, planets, satellites, and comets. The universe's organization, shape, size, and colors have triggered the imagination of adults and children for generations. Astonishingly, there is another universe as fascinating and intriguing as the large universe. It is a microscopic universe, the nano-universe. Although we cannot see it, the nano-world also possesses a complex organization full of shapes, sizes, and colors. These videos will embark you on a journey to discover the mysteries of the nano-world, the minuscule universe found in plants, food, cars, telephones, computers, and us. Yes, humans are also a part of the fascinating nano-world. How big is a nanometer? A nanometer is 1 over 1 billion meters. This is 1 times 10 to the negative 9th meters. This is a billionth of a meter, or 3.98 times 10 to the negative 8 inches. The size relationship between the planet Earth and a soccer ball is similar to the size relationship between a soccer ball and a nanoparticle. True or false? A nanometer is 1 over 1 billion meters. That's right. You selected the correct response. A nanometer is 1 over 1 billion meters. Please continue. Nanotechnology and nanoscience deal with the control and understanding of structures at the nanoscale, 1 to 100 nanometers. Nanoscience involves the synthesis of nanostructures, the imaging of nanoparticles, the measuring of their shape and size, and the computer modeling to predict their behavior. Meanwhile, nanotechnology is the manipulation and processing of these nanomaterials to modify and tune some properties. Thus, we can say nanoscience is the design and study of the nanostructures and their properties, while nanotechnology focuses on using this technology to develop new materials and create products. Select from the above to discover more. Small molecules can associate in water to form diverse nanostructures. These molecules are known as self-assembling materials. Here is a representation of a peptide amphiphile as a single molecule and assembled forming a cylindrical nanostructure. Various techniques are used to visualize nanostructures. They are based in electromagnetic radiation, lasers, X-rays, and more. This is a laser used to visualize the nanostructures. This is an atomic force microscope. This is an electron transmission micrograph showing nanofibers. Here is an image capture by atomic force microscopy showing nanotapes. Here is the image of a nanocar. Advanced computer software can help us to understand and predict the behavior of nanoparticles. This study shows the distribution of a polymer on a nanotube. The combination of theory and practice is a powerful approach to improve the performance of nanomaterials. Here we see a computation study that represents how electrons can travel across the surface of nanomaterials. At the nanoscale, material properties change. The melting point, the ability to conduct electricity, the magnetic properties, the ability to catalyze for reaction, are all dependent on the size of the nanoparticles. This is due to changes on the surface-to-volume ratio and the quantum effect, which is the physics of the electron in nano-sized particles. Select from the following to discover more. Melting point is the temperature that causes a solid substance to melt. Nanostructures present melting point depression. This is a lowering of the melting temperature that is related to the decrease in size. The melting point of tin-silver alloys is 222 degrees Celsius, but tin-silver nanoparticles present a melting point of 209 degrees Celsius. Gold has a melting point of above 1000 degrees Celsius, but small gold nanoparticles can melt at room temperature. Electric conductivity is the ability of a material to transport an electric current. Smaller particles tend to be better conductors than the bulk material. The enhancement of electric conductivity depends on the shape, size, and type of material. Magnetism is a result of the motion of charge and results in the attraction or repulsion of some objects. Nanoparticles can possess different magnetic properties than bulk materials. For example, they can lead to stronger but smaller magnets. They may even switch magnetic fields in response to external forces. Catalysis is a process that facilitates or accelerates a chemical reaction. Because nanoparticles have a higher surface area than the bulk material, they increase the catalytic efficiency, incrementing the speed of the reaction. Something that makes nano special is the change in the relationship of the volume versus the ratio. Take a cube of certain volume. If we cut the cube into smaller pieces, the total volume will remain constant. However, the surface will increase every time we cut the cube in half. This allows the reactions to proceed faster and also changes the properties of the materials. For example, nano gold can melt at room temperature on a sunny day. Select the best answers. Which one of the following are the tasks/experiments that are performed in nanoscience? Synthesis of nanoparticles, imaging of nanostructures. That's right. You selected it. Select the best answer. Melting point is the temperature. The last decades have shown us the power of nanostructure design, from magnets to dyes, transistors to medicine, and energy to food preservation. Nanostructures are constantly being designed, prepared, and improved by scientists and engineers across the globe. However, only one scientist has been able to unlock the secrets of nanotechnology: nature, the master designer. The following slides will introduce some nanostructures found in everyday life. True or false? Nanostructure design can... That's right. You select each item to discover more. Butterflies, viruses, geckos, sea urchin and mother of pearl, and bacteria. The colors in the butterfly wings are produced by nanoscopic structures. Molecules such as chitosan and keratin form nanopillars that absorb different wavelengths of light. The colors can be varied by changing the size and shape of the nanopillars, or the amounts of chitosan and keratin molecules, or the space between them. In other words, changing the nanostructure will change the wing's color. As mentioned, nanostructures give colors to the butterfly's wings. These nanopillars are in reality crystals known as gyroids. These are strange, 3D curving structures that scatter light. This image, obtained using X-ray scattering, shows some of the gyroids are made of molecules such as chitin. The butterfly wings possess many properties. They can work as anti-reflective and self-cleaning coatings, provide aerodynamic properties, and control mechanical strength. All these characteristics are defined and controlled by the nanostructures that make them and their spacing, from 200 to 1,000 nanometers. For example, in the morpho butterfly, the spacing between the nanostructures is what provides their brilliant blue color without any pigment. True or false? The color of the butterfly's wings is due to pigment. Select two properties of the butterfly's wings. Anti-reflective and self-cleaning. That's right. It is possible that every year you catch a cold. Perhaps you have a sore throat due to the flu. You may have heard of bronchitis, stomach flu, or RSV. Every 100 years, we need to stay home because of a pandemic such as COVID. These diseases are caused by viruses, tiny and evil nanostructures. Sickness caused by viruses can last from a few days to our whole life. We can recover and in some cases pass away. A virus is a nanometer-sized infectious agent that does not have the ability of replicating. The complete virus is known as a viron. A viron consists of nucleic acids covered by the capsid. The capsid is a protective coat made of amino acids. In some viruses, the capsid is surrounded by a lipoprotein membrane known as the envelope. The envelope is derived from the membrane of the host cell. Inside the capsid, we can find the nucleic acid, which can be DNA, RNA, or both. Viruses also have sugar or lipids. They possess many shapes: helical, icosahedral, envelope, or complex. Coronaviruses are roughly spherical particles. Here is the picture of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Maybe you have heard of COVID-19. The virus is contained in an envelope where membrane, M, envelope, E, and spike, S, proteins are anchored. The red triangles seen at the surface are the S proteins. Their presence makes the virus look like a corona, hence its name. The virus capsid is inside envelope. Another dangerous virus is the human immunodeficiency virus, also known as HIV. HIV can damage the immune system, causing acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, otherwise known as AIDS. This figure shows a computer simulation study representing the stepwise assembly of the HIV-1 capsid. This step is necessary for the maturation of the virus and to allow infection. The capsid is a protective coat. That's right. You selected the correct response. The capsid. Geckos are small lizards. Many gecko species have adhesive toe pads that allow them to adhere to surfaces. This adhesion is achieved by intermolecular interactions called van der Waals forces. Van der Waals forces can occur between two surfaces that are sufficiently close. Geckos have inspired the fabrication of synthetic dry adhesives. Here are different gecko feet. All of them have the ability to attach to surfaces due to their van der Waals interactions. Some scientists have discovered the adhesion is supplemented by capillary forces, attractive forces that arise by the surface tension of a layer of absorbed water formed between the two surfaces. Besides adhesives, geckos have inspired scientists to create climbing robots. Mark Kotkoski's group at Stanford University created a sticky bot. The feet of the robot are covered in a gecko-inspired adhesive material. The sticky bot can climb a smooth glass surface. Sea urchins are spiny, globular animals found in the ocean up to 5,000 meters deep. Their spines are made mostly of calcite, but the spines are much more durable than this raw material alone. They can move freely over hard surfaces using adhesive tube feet, with the help of the spines. The shells of these creatures are lightweight, but can resist the high pressures of the sea. The reason for their strength is their brick wall style architecture. Nacre, otherwise known as mother of pearl, is an organic-inorganic material produced by mollusks. Nacre is made of depositing aragonite, calcium carbonate, onto porous layers of chitin, a polysaccharide, a long chain of sugars. The crystallization of the calcium carbonate produces stacks of the material 10 to 20 micrometers wide and 0.5 micrometers thick that are separated by layers of organic material. This brick-like assembly provides high strength to the material. Mother of pearl is colored due to the way the calcium carbonate refracts light. Abalones are sea snails that possess an inner shell made of nacre. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego have investigated the abalone as a guide for creating bullet-stopping armor. The abalone shell has evenly spaced nucleation sites from which stacks of hexagonal tiles of calcium carbonate begin to grow. The top and bottom surfaces of each layer are separated by a protein that functions as an adhesive. The shelf of a sea urchin, that's not correct, are heavy and resist. That's right. True. Magnetotactic bacteria can sense minute magnetic fields, including the Earth's magnetic fields. This ability is related to small chains of nanocrystals called magnetosomes. These magnets are 30 to 50 nanometers and are made of magnetite, a form of iron oxide, or less commonly, greigite, an iron-sulfur combo. The magnetite is surrounded by a protein-rich biological membrane, the magnetosome vesicle. The magnetosomes can produce a foldable compass needle many times more sensitive than a man-made apparatus. These very precise sensors are used for navigating short distances. True or false? Some bacteria may detect That's right. This quiz has 9 questions. One attempt. True or false?